All right, Coach Fisher's here. First question that someone, Steve Sipple, Journal Star.
Coach, wanted to ask you about Markel Dismuke. Markel didn't really, he wasn't a main contributor until his junior season. What does it say about him as a dude that he was able to stick it out while a lot of guys hit the portal in those circumstances?
Markel's been doing a great job. I mean, just starting off, just coming from the first year I've been here, just the culture in the room, and he's completely changed as far as being around. Just the culture in the room has just totally changed, and then he's been a great voice in the room to the younger guys. He's tried to do everything he can to keep the room intact as far as his culture and what I'm expecting from the guys. And he's doing a great job on the field as well his senior year. So he's happy every day to be in the building.
I think last year he played hurt a lot of the time. How did that affect him last year? And have you seen a difference this year in that regard?
It says a lot about him. It really does. To be banged up, he had a neck and that spinal kind of neck area was kind of banged up a little bit. But he played with it. And so I know it was tough for him because a lot of games, especially the Minnesota game, didn't have his best game. But he played with it and showed signs of toughness and didn't want to let his teammates down. So it says a lot about Markel, just playing through some tough things and playing through some tough situations. It says a lot about him as being here for 4 to 5 years. Now he's a senior and he's been through some tough times here. But he and the perseverance and the way that he sees things and stuff like that. So it says a lot about Markel. He's done a great job for us.
Thank you, Coach.
Brian Christopherson.
Travis, Eric Chenander mentioned with Miles' unfortunate injury, Noah and Isaac Gifford having to be kind of next guys up. How do you feel where they're at, and how they've kind of come along?
Noah and Isaac's doing a great job. I mean, they came so far in a short period of time. They had practice every day, and they're the next guys up. So, we can move guys in different spots. And it's one good thing about, being versatile in the room like that. You can move guys in different spots. But both guys are doing a great job for us.
What can you do as a coach when a guy like Miles suffers an injury that's going to take a process to get back from? What's your role, for the next 6 months or whatever as he deals with that? How do you help a guy along from your standpoint?
All I can do is just keep giving Miles the positive and something to look forward to. Obviously, man, it was very unfortunate he got hurt, pregame, and Miles is doing a great job for us this year. He's like a third starter for us. Actually, not even third starter, but he's just like a starter for us as far as how far he's grown in the room. But just looking forward to this thing is some positive to go, some positive to every negative. And the positive is Miles get a chance to heal up. It's not the worst injury in the world. Miles get a chance to heal up. He's positive right now. He's at practice today. He also get a chance to study a lot of film. All right, being a guy that we're gonna definitely depend on. I'm gonna definitely depend on in that room. He get a chance to watch a lot of film. So there's a lot of positive and things that Miles can do, and he's looking forward to do until he can get back on the field.
Thank you.
Yes,
Sam
sir.
McEwen, Omaha World Herald.
Hey, Coach, what kind of guidance do you give your three seniors, Boodle, Dismuke, and Williams, as it relates to the decision they have coming up? I know that a lot of these guys have said they're not going to focus on it, and I understand that. But at the same time, you know what it's like to play in the NFL. You've also coached players who've gone to the NFL, and we're at senior week. And so there's, at some point you're going to have to jump, cross that bridge. How do you feel about those three? And I assume you want them back, but at the same time, you want the best for them personally?
Yeah, I love all three guys, and the same, and I want the best for those guys. However, I haven't approached those guys about the decision after the football season because we still got a season. So I didn't want to talk about things that necessarily, you never know how things can go. Hey, look at Miles Farmer in pregame, all right? So you don't want to jump the gun with talking about the NFL. I'd rather just talk about Minnesota to those guys right now, and that's how I was last week. I'd rather talk about Purdue. When the clock is expired and there's no more games, I'm pretty sure all three of those guys are going to run in my room. They're going to ask for advice. They're going to want to talk, and I'm going to want to talk. And then it's going to be a decision. It's going to be made, and that decision is going to have to be for the best of them. And it can't be a decision that I make, So one thing about it, they do listen to me, though. So I give them the best advice at that time that I can.
I had a question too about Lamar Jackson. I mean, he was in the spotlight on Sunday because of a play at the end of the game that his coach actually got fired for. But how proud are you of that Lamar was not drafted and yet made the Jets? Not only that, he started 5 games and is a starter in the NFL as a rookie.
Yeah, I told Lamar when he was here, man, it's not about going to the NFL, it's about staying in the NFL. So anybody can go. Very few can stay. So I hope he still have the same approach in practice on his day-to-day. I hope he still has the same approach and still hear Coach Fish in the back of his head, hey, telling him the small things that's going to help him last in that league. Obviously, that league is it's not for long. All right, that's what it stands for. So hopefully he can cherish the moments when he's there and practice like it's his last day every day.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Parker Gabriel, Journal-Star.
Hey, Travis, where would you say Cam Taylor-Britt's level of play is on the edge right now, and how much confidence do you have?
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Go ahead again, Parker. Just repeat it.
Where would you say Cam Taylor-Britt's level of play is right now on the edge, and how good can he be, from here as he continues to improve?
Yeah, I think Cam is having a great year. Obviously, he's grown so much, over the past 3 years, 2 or 3 years for us, and he has a lot of room. He has a very high ceiling. I think right now, in my opinion, I think Cam is one of the top corners, definitely in the Big Ten, if not the top corner in the Big Ten, in my opinion. And I'm not being biased, but there's a lot of work that Cam needs to, work on as far as the longevity of the game. Being able to look outside of the Big Ten. Let's talk about other things. Let's talk about how can you help this team win a championship with your ability, how you play on the outside, stuff like that. So the football and the NFL and all that stuff is going to take care of itself. For right now, Cam is playing very good on the outside. He's very physical on the outside, great ball skills on the outside. Great teammate, contributing on special teams, huge part of special teams. So the future is very bright for Cam. Just focusing in on, the off season and focusing in on, focusing in how do you get better from where he's at now is my talk with Cam, because I'm gonna have to talk to Cam as well about where do we go after you have a decent year. Where do we go from here? I mean, how can we even make that year even better, going into the future? So.
Take
Travis,
one more for
you
Fitz.
talked
Go ahead.
before the season about some of the guys, the young guys that had left before they played here, and a couple more from Miami now have also left. And I'm just curious, is there anything? I mean, do you chalk that up to similar to what we talked about before the season in terms of it's just a really difficult year for young guys, or is there something? Do you feel like there's anything that you need to do differently about the way you recruit the areas that you recruit? I guess.
I think I'm always continue to be an aggressive recruiter. I don't want to change that about myself. And then this year, 2020 has been a tough year, and I'm going to keep preaching it. And it's not an excuse for anything, but it's been a tough year. And then I can just imagine, sometimes different things come at different times when kids and different people in the ear here left and right, and you don't get a chance to see things for yourself. You're not running out in Memorial Stadium in front of, 100,000 fans going crazy that all know you. You don't get the chance to have a campus life, and then they hear some things on the other side that could be negative. You never know, and so it all plays into the first time I told you about guys that's leaving the program. It's very unfortunate that a lot of them happen to be from the same area. All right, but just talking about that, and I'm gonna kind of leave it alone. It's throughout the whole country. I mean, it's not just Nebraska; it's throughout the whole country. And if I can, obviously that's not my seat, and I don't really want to talk about stuff that's not my seat really. But I just think the transfer portal is giving a lot of the young kids a way to opt out of this thing. And it's not doing any of them any good, really, to be honest with you. That's just across the country, just looking at it. A lot of them are young. A lot of the kids are young. They're freshmen. 2020 doesn't help it, with, being quarantine stage and the rules and all that doesn't help it. So it's just, the toughness part of it, sticking through it, the toughness of being a freshman. And everybody's been a freshman, at some point. So it is tough. But, 2020 and, the things that we have to overcome so far in 2020 has been just an added piece to it. And it's very sad to see a lot of young men leave something so great because they don't know. And then, it's very sad to see, but, all you can do is wish them the best and stuff like that and hope for the best for them.
We'll finish up with Evan Bland, World Herald.
Hey, Travis, I just wanted to go back to a senior question real quick. You have as many seniors in your room as anybody. What makes that group special to you? And maybe if you were to look back, what has been kind of their role in helping you reshape the room over the last 3 years?
Yeah, they've done a great job. I mean, there's guys, I can go back as guys like Reed Carroll, that was a walk-on for us. There's a guy like Eli Sullivan, that was a walk-on for us. DiCaprio Boodle, Trey Neal, that came here, that transferred in here, that I coached for a long time at another school. Those guys are the reason why the culture is in the room is set. To be honest with you, Reed Carroll and Eli Sullivan, DiCaprio Boodle, and Deontay Williams, and now you got a Cam Taylor has taken a big leap. But those guys are the reason why. And then the younger guys like Miles Farmer, and you got Quentin Newsom, and you got Braxton Clark, and you got all the younger guys that are becoming to be older guys, and the culture is set in the room. So it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch, and just talking about the culture real quick. Last week against Purdue, Markel and Cam banged each other, all right, boom, on the post route at a crucial part of the game. And, most defensive backs, when you make a mistake like that, and that was probably one in a million times, guys going to run into each other on a post route. They had played so good in the game. But after the play, they came to the sideline and reshaped themselves. Came right back out of there, came right back out and played like it never happened. And played just like it never happened and finished the game. And that's what I'm talking about, the culture. And that's what I'm talking about. And that's where it starts. It started a couple of years ago with guys like those, the kids' name that I named, and even more. But just to name you a few, I really appreciate Reed Carroll and those guys, and some of the guys that I coached before. That kind of started it.
Thanks, Travis.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Coach Fisher.
Yep.
And just hang tight for a second, guys, here, and I'll let you know if we'll have another player. Thanks.